that was a new debate online. I realize you don't invest all your energy online about a Kevin Hart, get a disposition and cry over ruined milk. Or you keep on doing what you excel at and succeed. It's anything but a mysterious that Katt Williams and Kevin Hart are various assessments of what achievement truly implies, and in his stunning proclamation. Katt has forever been cooking his industry foe for offering his spirit to the Broadway and strolling over the entirety of his standards in return to become wildly successful in the stage. Clearly, this quarrel between two humorists has long quit being about who is more interesting as additional individual allegations come to the light. Hey everybody, and welcome back to Celeb Live Station. So the hamburger between Katt Williams and Kevin Hart is the same old thing in the entertainment biz, yet it appears as though Katt is prepared to make sense of his severe demeanor and cheeky comments coordinated on the most fundamental level as Williams accepts there's no ability in Kevin. And the momentum level of his prosperity can be just clarified by his consistence and status for essentially sell his spirit in different pieces of the body for progress. No man I'm a firm accepting that all that in the business occurs for an explanation as Feline accepts Kevin essentially deceives his partners by embracing such an efficient methodology and keeping in mind that others can't step over their qualities. And that is the reason they aren't becoming wildly successful in life-consistent characters like Kevin are anxious to do in a real sense, anything to fill their pocket with cash. Well, Kevin's profile on Twitter says that he's a diligent man. I go by Kevin Hart. And I buckle down that basically summarizes me. Everyone needs to be popular, yet no one believes should accomplish the function admirably. It raises specific hypotheses about the idea of Kevin's prosperity. And as per Feline, consistence with the business tip-top and their crazy terms is all that an individual necessities these days to continue to a higher degree of accomplishment. And as Feline accepts specific customs have proactively become customary, and Kevin wasn't the primary individual to go through them, Kevin doesn't need to stress over the thing individuals will say regarding him wearing a dress in view of the long queue of dress-wearing individuals before him. And this isn't some insane conversation about a desirous individual, since Katt Williams isn't the main comic who straightforwardly discussed this commencement ceremonies. Obviously, wearing a dress is just the initial step, and assuming an individual consents to an apparently blameless demonstration, their will is getting tried endlessly further until a craftsman loses his spirit, totally being familiar with the open doors that can be tossed at you. Everything unquestionably revolves around decision. You realize no one causes you to do anything. Better believe it's dependably an individual decision. Yet as Feline accepts on the off chance that more individuals consents to such things, it establishes a poisonous climate in the business where certain things are normal from each and every craftsman. And assuming somebody unexpectedly won't get into similar rhythm as the other VIPs, it's not difficult to dispose of such badly designed individuals totally. When individuals are against the Illuminati, then they get smacked right upside the head constantly. The press detests them, and no one prefers them, and Feline is among the very and requests the elites are forcing that bad youthful specialists and make them sell their spirits for distinction in gigs. Another unmistakable entertainer, Dave Chappelle, shared his account of how he had left encouraging open doors and $50 million arrangement at the pinnacle of his profession's sanctuary achievement, arrived at fleeting levels in 2003. Yet it didn't take him long to acknowledge what was happening in the business. And in mid-2005, he strolled off set of his show suddenly and traveled to South Africa to stay away from newspaper provocation and governmental issues of Hollywood. As later he made sense of his intentions in his discussion with Oprah. Can't envision what superstars go through. He made sense of that. Leaving the show came from an acknowledgement that achievement was nothing similar to he figured it would be. In truth be told, as his distinction was developing, he understood that would be pushed to make things he was awkward with. So he chose to stop to at last track down balance in his life by being capable too. And here's a statement to what I like to do. And keep away from a portion of the pieces of it that I was awkward with in spite of cash streaming into his pockets, and him being at the pinnacle of his prosperity. Dave would have rather not twisted around the provisions of the business, since he needed to stay rational and remain consistent with his own limits being put through pressure in light of the fact that, when you're a person that produces cash, no doubt individuals have a personal stake in charge. Well, our man Kevin Hart is by all accounts not at all like this. And as Katt Williams says, he is prepared to effectively lift his vocation considerably more. And on the off chance that you truly do some exploration, folks, there's truly truth in Feline's words, on the grounds that the timing doesn't lie, and Kevin Hart's vacation took off so high that he is presently one of the most extravagant jokesters ever, with total assets of $450 million anyway. Kevin didn't begin his vocation with a pocket brimming with cash, and presumably now he can decide to do anything he desires, and individuals will be paying him a ton, yet the way to his prosperity was cleared with settling on many confounded decisions that his whole center was shouting in misery and hard. Once conceded that he needed to decided to do the things for cash, he wasn't all right. With that, I'm ready to pick now. You realize they can be great jobs, they can be more astute jobs. I don't need to take specific motion pictures. Well, Kevin had essentially admitted that double-crossing his goals and standards in return for cash resembles strolling the recreation area for himself, and starting from the beginning of his vocation, he was prepared to do whatever expected to arrive at the levels he's currently on, regardless of whether it comes against him nature and doing things he could do without. Is that something that you realize you wouldn't do, for I certainly haven't ran into placed on the trust. And a stunning development for the vast majority Kevin's fans. After this very explanation, Kevin was most likely moved toward by the business elites who were trying his consistence. And think about what he truly showed up in Saturday Night Live episode wearing a dress. And as Feline Williams presently says, it was only the beginning of heart soul being undermined, which means I'm expectation. And this was the beginning of Hart's ascent to progress, which might be only an occurrence. Yet I think, as many fans suspect, they have previously seen a ton of things to put stock in incident. And there's a discussion that Kevin was thinking even endlessly lower after that. And who can say for sure the thing else he was doing behind the shutways to become renowned, as one individual remarked, not shocked about any of them in that world selling out. Just a resilient individual can turn them down and leave. And another client added the dress is valid. They go for individuals of color fruitful in the business then. At that point, requested to wear a dress, the ones that didn't keep silent anyway. There was as yet one same individual among the joke artists who didn't buy this honeybees. And this was Katt Williams seeing another great individual selling his spirit. In return for cash was a lot for him to deal with on the grounds that he was attempting to become famous in a genuine manner. These inception customs are not confidential, and many individuals are going through them, so it was inevitable to check whether Hart was one of these craftsmen who esteem abundance more than honesty, yes. And in the event that that is the